Greetings everyone, Ishinbad here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So today we're going to be doing, I'd say this is the last of the Spooptober games. Actually, I've got one more thing I want to play, which, yes, that would be much like today, it's going to be a Halloween game. Well, I say a Halloween game, it's going to be a game that be launched. We'll go, the video will go live on Halloween, and that's going to be an interesting one, but I won't talk too much about that because that's a kind of a surprise little bonus for you guys. But we have one last game, and I've been putting this one off. I don't know why I've been putting this one off. Mostly because, you know what, compared to all the other games I've played, this one is like, I mean, okay. The Haunted PS1 demo disc was like 2.5 gigabytes. This is a gigabyte worth of a visual novel. Available for free on itch.io. And it is Do Not Take This Cat Home. Apparently the game has 39 endings plus one true ending. If you want to go through the entire game and witness all endings, my god, that's a lot of content. But we do have, this game is not suitable for children or the easily disturbed. You have been warned. The game itself is warning us. It includes pictures of horror elements, human animal violence and death, abuse and abusive relationships, disturbing images, loud noises, flashing images and lights, and more. Oh, individuals suffering from anxiety, depression, or certain fears, phobias may not have a safe experience. Oh, I only feel unsafe. Anyway, so, yeah, please take care of yourself. Yes, very much so. Yeah, we have. Do not take this cat. This is a game made in Ren'Py. Ren'Py is one of those engines that I've been meaning to work with myself. So, be interested to see what can be done with Ren'Py. So let's start. You're not having a great day, as usual. Oh, great. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out, but in the middle of your walk it starts to rain. Typical. But maybe this is a sign that you should have stayed home today. You can always try again tomorrow, right? You turn to head back when... Now, I'm just going to turn up the volume here because... Huh? What was that? There are only a few people around on the street. Makes sense due to the increase of missing persons. Wow, missing people. Well, that and the weather. But none of them react to that sound at all. Curiosity guided your steps. You followed the sound to the entrance of a dark, dingy alleyway. You timidly enter the alleyway and walk forward. The ground, dampened by the rain, makes your steps sound louder and more confident than you actually feel. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the cold, dim light of the alley. At the end of the alley, in a big cardboard box, look at the little cat. It's a cat. Guess that should have been obvious. It's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. It puts its paws up on the edge of the box and looks up at you. So cute. And it definitely knows it. You've never had much of an opinion one way or another about cats before. But it's like, but if they're all like this one, it's a shock. It's a shock they haven't already found a way to rule the world. You don't think you'd mind bowing down to a feline overlord. You walk away. You walk around the alley with a small frown. Who leaves cats in cardboard boxes these days anyway? Wouldn't they just jump out and leave the box eventually? The cat doesn't answer you, obviously. It also doesn't do as you suggest. Leave the box. It's just looking at you, as if waiting for you to make the next move. Oh. So we can take the cat home or not take the cat home. Now the game does say do not take this cat home. So let's just see what happens if I do not take the cat home. With a sigh, you take a decisive step back. As cute as the cat is, you really can't afford to be taking a pet on a whim. Rent's coming up soon and your job doesn't exactly leave you rolling in dough. You give the cat a sad nod. Sorry, good look out there, okay? You turn around and leave the cat in the alley behind. Rain's picking up. Time to head home. Ending. Nyat, a fool. Anyway, that's so if I just go there is a way to There we go. So if I just turn those off. So, okay, let's take the cat home. You know what? You reach into the box and pick the cat up, holding it out in front of you. Why not? You're all alone. And well... Oh, you're all alone. And well, I'm kind of in the same boat myself, so... You bring the cat close. You didn't realise it was shivering until then, but it slowly breathes easier as it presses into your chest. Why not stick together, right? At least for a little while. You think a little while will probably be more like a day. You'll be responsible and take it to a shelter tomorrow. But for now, get out of the game, okay? You stop by a small local pet store for some cat food and head back home. You live in a modest apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, one you living alone in it. Oh, 1 you living alone in it. That makes sense now. So it feels weird having another living being inside it after so long, even if it is just a cat. After locking the door and placing the cat on the floor, you watch for a moment as it curiously explores the new environment. Leaving the feline to its own devices, you sit about making the both of you some dinner. You take out the can of cat food and open up with the tab on top. Ta-da! You put some cat food on the saucer and click your tongue to call the cat over to you. It perks up at your beckoning and rushes over. It looks at the plate of food. It eats the food. And completely ignores it. You're not hungry, I guess. You try to not let it annoy you. The cat doesn't understand the concept of money to appreciate that you spent your hard-earned cash on it. Just the cat to go. I'll just leave it here if you get hungry later, okay? The cat rubs its body against your legs with a purr. You smile. That's enough of a thanks for you. It follows you into the kitchen as you start on your own dinner. You decide you have enough ingredients for a sandwich. Bread, toasted. Mayo and mustard spread. Turkey and cheese and lettuce perfectly placed. Tomato slot. Ow! You wince as you cut your finger on a knife while slicing a tomato. Stupid. You feel like a little embarrassed for such a blunder inside, tossing the knife onto the cutting board. You're about to head to the bathroom for a bandage when the cat hops onto the counter. It sniffs at the knife and meows almost pointedly at you. Don't worry, it was just oh. You watch as the cat starts to lick lightly but enthusiastically at the blood on the knife. That's a lot of blood on that knife. Your blood. You're so shocked. By the time you come to your senses, the knife has been completely licked clean. That's fortunate that the cat didn't cut itself. The cat sits back, staring at you. You feel a little uneasy. Some cats are meat-eating predators, but that was a little weird. Right? Sure, you're not a cat expert, but that was definitely not something an ordinary cat would do. Right? Well, regardless, you're not about to abandon a cat in need whilst it's raining outside. Not after all your efforts. You were going to take it to the shelter tomorrow anyway. What's one night of awkwardness? Weird or not? Just a cat. The rest of the evening, unfortunately, goes downhill from there. Oh no! Even after covering up your fingers, cut with a bandage, the cat keeps trying to lick at the wound while eating your sandwich. Why are you eating a sandwich while you're cleaning the kitchen up? While trying to watch TV. You gently push it away, but you're starting to get worried at the strange behaviour. What if it's got a taste for blood and thinks you're food now? You're not sure what you'll do if it starts to get more aggressive. You keep thinking about the cat food sitting in the corner, untouched. Very noisy, very vocal cat. Go on, enough already. You shove it away a little more forcefully this time with annoyance. You feel bad immediately, but before you can do anything, the cat meows sharply and dashes off around the corner into the hole. You sigh deeply. At this point, you're just worried that it's going to take a bite out of you when you're asleep. Maybe a vet will have an idea to calm it down. You can only hope. You don't have many options left other than tossing the cat out in the rain. After finding the number of a local vet, you pick up the landline and power's out. The lights just went out. Great, just great. Rain must have knocked out the power. You check your cell phone to see if only to find it's out. Oh god, even my mobile phone. You'd forgotten to charge it before leaving out earlier. The outing had been so spare of the moment that it had no doubt messed up with your usual routine. You grab a flashlight and turn it on. It's quiet. Too quiet. Does the rain stop? But then, why did the power go out? You look outside. It's still raining. The sky is pitch black. What time is it? You turn to check the clock. The cat sits atop the digital clock staring at you. Oh dear. Being there, you realise the clock shouldn't be working at all with the power outage, but the numbers are lit up and going completely haywire. It stares at you, completely still. You'd think it was a statue, if you didn't know any better. It's not giving off any indication that it's alive. It's not blinking, it's not even breathing, but its eyes. This isn't normal. You're afraid. You want to run, but you're afraid of letting the cat out of your sight. I mean, it's probably for the best. It does feel like a bit like a demon cat at this point. You consider tossing the cat out after all. But as soon as the thought enters your head, you feel a sharp urge to vomit. Those eyes hold you still. Even with your flashlight trained on it, the pupils are large, round, inky pit. Ooh. The flashlight flickers. And then dies. The cat is gone. Fear immediately grips your mind. The silence punctuated with a rapid pumping of blood in your heart is overwritten as your ears slowly start to pick up a sound of static all around you. How's the clock working with no power? You don't know why such a question matters at the moment, but you feel as if having the answer will make sense of everything that's happening. The order will be restored. But no answer comes to mind. Oh dear. You back away from the clock. You feel as if the air itself coils tightly and abruptly in response, like a predator prepared to pounce, but waiting for your next move. But you're afraid to move. You're afraid to even take a breath. You can't stay still forever, alright? Whatever is watching you, you can feel its impatience. It's too eager. You don't know how you know this. You get a sense it is as clearly as if it had whispered, "Let's play." Ooh. Right into your ear. Right into your soul. It won't let you wait it out. Not that you could, even if it did. You can't stay here. You have to run. With that thought, a sudden primal instinct awakens within you, making you tear yourself into a hasty burst of movement, of action. But you're still weak from the fear's grip on your mind. You're like tangled together and under in your haste, and you fall to the ground. Oh! A sharp pain explodes in the centre of your foot. At first you thought you'd broken your ankle, but something warm and wet trickles down the length of your foot, falling underneath. You heard the sound of metal scraping on tiles after skidding across the floor, as if it had been kicked. Winded from the fall, you look up in a daze and see the object glinting in a strange light coming in from outside. Light pouring in from your now open front door. Thoughts of when, who, what in regards to your inexplicably open door screech to a halt as your brain finally identifies the metallic object you've been staring at. It's a knife. It's a kitchen knife. Still tinted red from your earlier blunder? But that's not right. Was it completely lit clean by the... You gulp dryly at the pain in your foot. You barely have time to wonder how the knife ended up on your living room floor to be stepped on instead of resting on the cutting board in the kitchen where you'd left it. You spy something in the darkness just beyond the knife. It spies right back at you. A pair of glowing golden eyes come forward as the cat emerges from the shadows into the light of from your doorway. It pads lightly over to the knife, as if skipping in delight. It bends down to lap at the blood dripping from the blade. You sense the saliva begin to overwhelm you. The chill of the air as it starts to suffocate you under its weight. The sound of your shaky breaths discordant against the static now piercing your skull. The dryness of your tongue spreading to your throat. Incomprehensible sight of the stray you're taking in, licking away at the kitchen knife, once again completely clean. The scent of blood from the fresh wound on your foot. Blood. Golden eyes slide up to you as if in response to your sudden realization. Blood. You're hurt. Your foot is bleeding. You're bleeding. You're bleeding. The cat barely moves, shoulders twitching as if it's considering the act of pouncing forward. You're already on your feet and out the door. You run, or rather limp, down the empty street. The sky is black and bleeding red. There's a strange light emitting from nowhere that casts everything else in white. The horses, the trees, the road, even you. Everything. Except your blood. You can just barely glimpse the blood's imprint. Your bloody imprint your injured foot leaves in the wake with every impact it makes with the ground. It hurts. It hurts. But you can't stop. You don't stop. Not when the shadows grow around you. Not when you feel the gaze of eyes all over you. Not when the road ahead of you is darkened by a long shadow sitting behind you. Even then, you don't stop running because if that's the cat right there ahead of you, then what's behind you? No. What in the world is behind you? Let's look. Interesting. How very, very interesting. It begins. What? No! No! See, you got continue, which is interesting. You're walking. Right, of course. The first time in a while that you felt like going out. And you're actually glad that you did. The weather is absolutely perfect today. That's a good sign, right? Maybe your luck is finally starting to turn around. You tentatively allow yourself to feel excited for the possibilities of where you could go or what you could do. Maybe even who you could meet. You're so deep in thought you almost miss it. Huh? What was that? Curiosity guiding your steps, you follow the sound to the entrance of a lonely alleyway. The sunlight only just manages to reach down it, between the tall buildings on either side. You timidly enter and walk forward, loose gravel and scattered debris on the ground, softening your steps. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the warm, almost ethereal light of the alley. The end of the alley, a big cardboard box. Guess that should have been obvious. It's an interesting looking cat. It's pretty yellow eyes, shine like gold. Puts its front paws up and looks at me. It's meowing at me. It's so cute. You look so familiar, right? Then again, it is a cat. Not many different ways for a standard black cat to look after her. This one sure is a cutie though. Just look. Not glaring at you or hissing at you or getting this close like other stray cats in the past. Just sitting there patiently, waiting for you to do something. We're not going to take it. Oh, you'd never take this thing home with you. Ooh. You just can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. Meow. You are. Rent and bills to pay for, not to mention you need to buy food and survive too. There's no way you can care for a cat for a long term, right? You can barely afford this little outing on your day off. What to do? You are not ready. I am not ready. Let's leave the cat. You don't think it's a good idea to get the cat's hopes up of having something to look after if you're not willing to commit. What if it gets attached? Oh. And somehow tracks you down to your home. Oh. I've got the history. You'd never get away from it then. You sound like kept watching your every move. You know, you're halfway out the alley when a cat meows almost pitifully at you. Meow, meow, meow. No, be strong. No, you need to nip this in the bud and get on with your day. It's best for both of you. You leave the alley and continue on your way. Wait, what was I doing? In all the excitement of dealing with your furry dilemma, you'd forgotten that you still hadn't decided on what you were going to do on your day off. Dog park! I decided to take a stroll in the park or something. The only one within walking distance is the nearby dog park. You'd think it'd make you feel better. First, you get to see a cute cat today. Now you get to see a cute dog. Several of them, in fact. Yes! This pleases me. Park is bustling with owners and their canine companion. Playing frisbee, fetch, running, jumping, and even napping. Such cuties, whatever. Whatever, you'd want anything to do with these mangy mutts. No, I do. I like dogs. What's wrong? He didn't think that. He decided to move on. The dogs are so adorable, you want to pet every single one you come across. But, you know, not all owners are cool with strangers walking up and manhandling their pets. Not all dogs appreciate it, even though they don't. So you stroll around the path trying to exude a welcoming aura that will beckon one of the cute doggies to you. You don't have to wait very long. Orc! Oh my god, look at yourself with that smallest, cutest puppy you've ever seen scampers up to you, blocking your path. Oh my god. What? What? No! No! We're gonna pick up the puppy. You pick up the puppy and... Oh! Hold on. There was a timer there. That really worried me. You just barely managed to gain the reflex to prove the puppy as well. Oh my god. Sweet jumping Jesus. With shaking hands, you quickly place the puppy on the grass and take several jerky steps back. You only seem confused by your reaction to that puppy. But you just wave at them in a daze before hastily stumbling away. Sweet jumping Jesus, I nearly killed a puppy. You're not feeling so great about the park at the moment. Maybe you should leave. Leave the park. Oh, man. Right, you know what we're going to do? Let's save. Let's drop a save. We're going to stay at the park and see what happens. You stay at the park. Oh, God. You try to calm down by watching what looks from afar as you walk along the path. But every so often, one runs up to you. Oh, they do. They look wrong. The owners don't seem to notice. You find a bench to sit down for a quick break, closing your eyes. Maybe. This wasn't the best idea after all. No. Maybe. Oh. You should have stayed with me instead. Oh. Oh. You're broken out of your thought when something lands gently on your lap. You look down and see a frisbee on your thighs. Hey, sorry about that. Can you throw that back? You look up to see an owner waving in the distance, but more importantly, bark, bark, bark. Here comes the doggo. A series of excited barks jerks your gaze forward and you see a large dog sprinting towards you. Oh. Oh, that's no. That's a little terrifying. A series of excited barks jerk your gaze when you see a large dog sprinting towards you. Hey, hurry and throw it back. Yeah. Throw! You throw the frisbee and the dog runs in the opposite direction, jumping and catching it right at the air. Impressive! The dog and owner walk up to you. Oh no, thanks for it. You can pet him if you want. Oh no, oh no. The dog looks up at you, eager for its reward. Catching the frisbee. Should I? A dog. Really? Are you sure? I'm warning you. Do not touch that mutt. You will regret it. We're petting the dog. Oh no. Oh no. You reach out your hand. It's gonna bite me, isn't it? And you pet the dog. The dog seems pleased. Thank God the dog is pleased. You don't feel well. Suddenly, the sky begins to darken rapidly. Oh no. You look up. You look along all the pattern and see the sun has been eclipsed by the moon in the blink of an eye. That was quick. You vaguely remember that you should never look directly at an eclipse, but for some reason, you just look at it. Oh. A loud, piercing yell fills the air, shaking the ground beneath you. You instinctively move to lift your hands in order to shield your ears, but... Oh no! But the hand that had been cautiously pressed upon the dog's head comes away with some resistance. Resistance like sticky slime almost cementing your hand to the dog's head. The slime stretches with your movement. The dog's head stretches with it too, as if the canine begins to melt. Oh no! It melts! It melts! No! There's a power to it. No! Not the dog! You dazedly look around for the dog's hand, only to find an empty pile of familiar clothing where they once stood. Oh! You see similar piles of clothes next to piles of goo scattered all over the park's open field. All of those, all their owners. The melted goo of the dog in front of you starts to move with a shudder. No. It slothers across the grass towards the field in the centre of the park. All the other piles of goo follow after it. They mix and meld together into a single entity that shifts and undulates and bulges and grows. You wish in dazed horror as it fills out and shapes itself. Into a... oh wait. Oh no, into an evil doggo. Into a behemoth of a dog. Snarling and frothing at the mouth. Red eyes frantic and searching. Below the glowing orbs. And directly on you. Ooh, the rumbling growl it emits is so low and deep you can feel the sound of it crashing into you. Leave the park? Question mark? No. You had your chance. Better start running. You try to run, but you're not fast enough. The behemoth barely takes a few leaps before it's already towering over you. Oh, and we are so dead. It tears you apart till there's nothing left. Ending 21. Dog person. I mean, yeah, that's certainly an ending, isn't it? And a pleasant day at the dog park. Oh. You're walking, right, of course. Yeah. And let's just skip. Let's not take the cat home again. Actually, no, do you know what? Let's reload the save. Let's leave the park. Good. Let's go watch a movie. It's been a while since it's been a while since a film came out that looked interesting enough for you to drag yourself to a movie theatre. There's a showing of one such film at the old theatre. The movie was a little too niche to be picked up by the new cinema that opened right across the street. That's okay though, you're not exactly a fan of crowds. And nothing ruins the experience of watching a new movie for you more than a noisy audience. Go to the old theatre. You eagerly buy your tickets from the kind old man in the booth and head inside. barren of it. Oh no, barren of any trace of other people. And the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s, maybe even the 70s. But it's what you're counting on. You consider buying some popcorn, but can't help but be concerned that everything at the concession stand might be expired. You move on and walk through the halls, finally locating the theatre designated on your ticket stub. As expected, the theatre movie you will be playing is completely empty. You pick a spot right in the middle, and even counting the seats and taking into consideration the gap in the staircase. As you settle in, the dim lights fade away, leaving them pitch black for a few seconds. It's gonna be the cat, isn't it? Before the screen flickers on, no commercials or trailers pop up, the movie just begins. Please, you shrug and let yourself get immersed in the opening scene. Just as you're getting into the premise, the doors open behind you, momentarily casting light into the room and ruining the atmosphere. You're holding a frustrated sigh. It's a public establishment after all. It's can't do that. Exactly afford to stay open if you're the only customer. You try to refocus on the movie, but you sense the new presence slowly shifting around the theatre before heading in your general direction. What? You gape in utter disbelief as the stranger shuffles down the aisle and only to sit right in front of you. Ugh. What a jerk. There's no one else here. Plenty of places to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall. Even with the stadium-like arrangements of the seats being on a somewhat steep incline, they're completely blocking your view. Let's move to another spot. You don't want to risk escalating the situation further. This whole thing is already making you uneasy. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they know you wouldn't be able to see past them. Shaking your head with a passive-aggressive scoff in the stranger's direction, you reluctantly pick another, less perfect seat in the theatre. But as you settle down, you see the stranger person get up, and they do it again. And they sit down directly in front of you. You look around and see, somewhat helplessly, as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you about how odd all this is, at least to inform you that it's all an elaborate prank. There's no one else here with you. That's how you always liked it, but you can't help but think that maybe it would be nice to have someone else here if it meant not being alone with this weird jerk. Just try moving again. You move again. And again, they sit right in front of you. You bristle, and a little annoyed and a little humiliated. Are you getting a kick out of this or something? You wasted enough time with this jerk and you don't even know what's going on in the movie anymore. Ugh. Confront them. You hate confrontation. You can already feel your palms starting to sweat at the idea of it. Your throat closing up and your body's starting to shake. You've always been more of a flighter than a fighter. But you paid for this ticket. You wanted to watch this movie for ages. And now this total stranger has ruined the entire experience for you. You're all alone in this theatre and there's no one who will help you if something goes wrong. Thank you for that. Thank you for telling me that. If something goes wrong, nobody's coming here to save me because, you know... but you're angry enough that you ignore the signs of your body begging you to put as much distance as you can between yourself and the stranger. You stand up, even standing and higher on the incline. The stranger is at least ahead to all of oh jeez. The movie continues to play in the background, but you feel as if a hush immediately falls heavily over the theatre at your movements, as if you can sense the stranger anticipating what you plan to do next. You square your shoulders and force a little bass into your voice. Hey! The effort makes your words come out more harshly than you intended, like a sudden vicious bark. But you figure they deserve it anyway. You're being a real jerk, you know that. Just what are you playing at, huh? You trying to annoy me? The silence that follows your words is deafening. Ooh. So much that you glance at the screen only to find that the movie has paused. Your attention is whipped back to a stranger in front of you as they shift slightly. Like a small animal desperately trying to anticipate the moves of a predator. You don't move an inch. You don't look away. You don't dare to blink. Instead, your eyes widen as the person's head turns. Some more. Oh. Then turns more. Beyond what should be possible. Neck bones cracking to face you directly. You can't move. Wide glowing eyes resting above a wider grinning mouth gaze down at you. The stranger opens their mouth, and what comes out is something impossible to comprehend. Oh. That is kind of sinister. The voice is endlessly deep and creaks like a weighty door, foreboding and oddly melodic, alluring, but it also snaps you out of your terrified trance. Before you know it, you're already at the door. You run through the halls with the empty theatre, heading for the exit. You feel like something watching you from behind, but you're too afraid to look. The exit is in sight. You sprint forward, bursting through the doors. You look around frantically and spot a crowded cinema across the street. People, that's what you need. Safety in numbers and all that. Without thinking, you rush into the street when a sinking sensation crawls down your spine, compelling you to look behind you. Go on, what's behind us? Despite your resistance, you feel your head turning back and look back of its own accord while in the middle of the street. Oh, you catch a glimpse of a grotesque-looking person standing behind the glass doors of the old theatre, watching you intensely. Oh, hang on. Cradling something in their arms. Something familiar. Oh, we're gonna get hit by a car. We got hit by a truck. Of course we did. A glimpse is all you get as the truck speeds forward and crashes into your body. You're killed on impact. Your body is splattered across the road and crushed further under the heavy poor screening arrangements. Indeed. You go to your theatre and enjoy a film with an interesting stranger. I'll tell you what, as I said, we've already done like half an hour of this. I don't really want to do like what I did with Dangerous and the last couple of games. I don't want to keep going for like an hour because I could easily just like run through the scenarios because, you know, I could have punted the dog. I wonder what would have happened then. I probably would have been chased out of the park and mauled to death by other dogs, but hey, doesn't matter. Right. So this was Do Not Take This Cat Home. And you know what? It's got 40 endings. I'm kind of really enjoying it. I mean, it's been a while since I played a visual novel. Visual novels. What I do like is that we did that first loop where we had no control, where basically, I mean, we did have the control of like not taking the cat home in the first place. But obviously, once we get this initial cycle started, it's quite interesting that it doesn't loop back to that first rainy day. It's obviously we'll be embroiled in our lives. But you know what? I really encourage you to check this one out. It looks so cool. Just from what we've seen so far, it is just weird. There wasn't anything too sinister, I don't think. It does make me wonder what some of the other I mean, if we go to preferences, no, it wasn't in the preferences. Is it about? Oh wait, no. We won't check out the spoilers because I don't want to spoil anything for myself. Just on the off chance that I do come back to this, there is a very small chance that I might do that. You know, there's no guarantee because I've got so many other things I want to play. But with that all said and done, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. This has been Spooptober 2024. Probably more weird experiences than they were scary experiences, I must admit. Not like last year where we had that one in the block of flats where I was dropping off leaflets. That was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Anyway, yeah, so this brings I say this brings the spooky season to a close. We've got one more game I want to play. Something that I found when I was just like scrolling through Mastodon, and I kind of saw it. It's like, oh, this is coming out, and I kind of said to the developer, oh, will this be available for Halloween? And like, yeah, it's gonna be fine for Halloween. It's like, excellent, because I want to record this because this looks interesting. Anyway, so that video will be coming out 7 p.m. at 7 p.m. and yeah, I hope you enjoy it because I'm looking forward to it. I haven't played it yet. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, with that all said, now I hope you've enjoyed yourself. There'll be links to my socials in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. We'll be moving over to Nintendo games. I've got a handful of old Nintendo games that some of them, most of them, actually, I've played all of them now that I think about it, but these are all ones that I've played, and we'll sort of play through them, and we'll see how well that goes. Nintendo, one of my favourite times of the year, along with this time, because spoopy games are always quite fun. Anyway, with that all said and done, I look forward to seeing you, that's you, and possibly a cat, when I next do. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for joining me on this episode of Spooptober 2024. Do not take this cat home. So yeah, we didn't take the cat home. I mean, we had to once, but we didn't take it home. And then we got killed by a demon dog and hit by a truck. All things that are not cat related. But anyway, with that said, if you haven't watched Spooptober 2022 or 2023, there'll be playlists right there. And you can also click me right there to subscribe if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you when I next do.